So, this Raw starts off rare. It begins with a match instead of a promo. We have a tag match? Oh, how I hate my life. It begins, and it ends. Nelson shows Shayna doing the stinky leg, and let's just get the fuck out.
Hey bros, I just want to say thank you for those registration forms, because in a couple of weeks I'm thinking about throwing some bromados at Elias and Riker again.
I'm all out of bromados, but I was wondering if we could hit him in the face with some bronuts.
Ooh, in the face! Could you imagine hitting almost in the head with a huge tomato? It'd just be hilarious. Almost as hilarious when Randy got hit with tomatoes last week. Did you see his face? He's like a cartoon character. You ever see SpongeBob SquarePants where Squidward gets hit with all the tomatoes and he's like... Oh, hey Randy, how are you? We were just talking about the funny stuff last week with the tomatoes.
Kind of looked like a herb with the tomatoes all dripping down and everything, you know what I mean? If we knew you were gonna get hit by him, I would have definitely stood in between you and those tomatoes and defended your honors.
You thought that was funny. You know what I find funny?
What?
Ending careers, killing legends, kicking people in the head, setting things on fire.
Jinder Mahal. Wow, the Singh brothers have really eaten some Mario mushrooms. They look completely different. So the match begins with Jeff being aggressive with strike and a drop kick. After trying to go for a jawbreaker, Jinder connects a hard boot. He then stomps on him for a while. We also get a few elbows, a knee strike, then Nilsson's favorite move, headlock. Jeff then fights out of that and does something from the middle rope after connecting the Colossus. However, Jinder wins. Why did I say Jeff? That's not Jeff. Jinder connects the Colossus. I'm a retard. Now time for the multi-man tag match. That makes sense. You see, I usually have problems with multi-man tag matches. As you know, I have a long history of shitting on them. But this has some interesting beef, because Jackson has beef with Riker. That's not the line. Because Jackson and... fucking hell. Why do I keep on saying Jackson whenever his name's Elias? Because Elias and Riker have beef with the New... Because Jackson and Riker have beef with the New Day because tomatoes. So does AJ and Omos because pain. RK Bro has beef with Jackson and Elias because tomatoes as well, but only on Randy. And let's not forget, Riddle signed in a tag team for him so that they can go after the tag titles. So the match starts with Elias and Riddle, to which Elias says no and tags in the man who is scared of Omos. Then the man who is scared of Omos tags in Omos because Vince said, yeah, sure. Omos starts throwing around Riddle. Elias gets tagged in and tries to pick up scraps. Your Facebook uncle gets tagged in and tries to beat up on Riddle, to which AJ tags himself in and beats up on Riddle as well. Woods gets tagged in by Riddle. We then get some great tag moves from Woods and Kofi, but AJ gains momentum and tags in the man who idolizes Hulk Hogan. Elias gets tagged in and hits a spine buster. Elias tries to beat up on Woods, and Woods still has some fight left. Then Elias tags in a man whose least favorite president is probably Abraham Lincoln, as he stretches out Woods and connects a spine buster. He then tags in back Elias, who hits the back of Woods. Woods gets out of that and tags in Matt Riddle. He gets work on Elias and the man who has probably said all lives matter, unironically. Riddle then starts throwing elbows, but Elias does slaps. We then kinda get the neutralizer from Riddle, Randy gets tagged in and disappears, which he reappears with an RKO at the end, as Randy just starts throwing RKOs all over the place. So, before we get to that, ladies and gentlemen, I have a special guest. It's Vince McMahon.
Let me see here. This looks like shit and not the good kind. Well, it's the forbidden knowledge that should be kicked up in a coffin and make feels like I'm slowly losing my grip on my reality.
We get Humberto and Sheamus, and, well, it's good, but it ends with Humberto getting injured. So the next match of the night is Cedric versus Shelton. But first, a word from our sponsor, Eva Marie. No, you don't have my attention. Moving on. It starts out fast with a great drop kick from Cedric. Shelton tries to do a move, but Cedric moves out the way. He then plays cat and mouse until he grabs Shelton's leg and pulls the knee. He then starts to work on Shelton's bad leg as Cedric screams into my ears. Ow. Shelton goes outside the ring and... Shelton! Shelton goes outside the ring, and Shelton tries to go for a 5, but is met with a knee. That is not how that works, logic and brain. Shelton goes outside the ring, and Cedric tries to go for a dive, but is met with a knee. Shelton limps his way to Cedric, who goes for a roll-up, and eventually a great maneuver with the backflip kick. As Cedric mocks Shelton, it gives enough time for Benjamin to connect a great move and win. Our next match of the night is Rhea versus Asuka. It starts with a lockup, but Asuka trips up Rhea and connects a dropkick. Rhea then connects a knee and throws Asuka around all over the place. Asuka is able to connect an armbar, but Rhea rolls out of the ring. The two play Ring Around the Rosie as Rhea gains back control, and fucking Charlotte. Are we back from commercial? Yes, we are. Rhea connects a great dropkick on Asuka. Rhea then beats up on Asuka in the corner. She also kicks the back of Asuka, and I officially take back every good comment I've made about Charlotte. Every compliment I made about her in-ring ability and her theme. Okay. As Rhea and Asuka botch the codebreaker, seriously? Again? Whose fault was that? Well, it doesn't matter as Asuka hits Rhea's knee first off the apron. Asuka then goes for a submission, but Rhea powers out of it. Asuka looks at Charlotte and gets headbutted by Rhea. The two share a spin as Rhea takes back control. Asuka connects the codebreaker and covers Rhea, but gets kicked out of. After a hip attack on Rhea, Asuka goes to the top rope and connects a drop kick to Rhea in the ring. Asuka tries going for it in the corner, but Rhea connects her finisher and win. Next up is Damian versus John Morrison. Didn't we already have this match last week? Yeah, we did, which means, hey, wait, what do you say? No 50-50 booking? It's actually a good match? Well, let's see. Priest takes control early, throwing John around. But then John is able to do some good moves and starts to strike Damian. He then also connects a fun knee. Morrison then locks in Nilsson's favorite move. Headlock. Damian fights out of it and throws John to the corner, but he moved out of the way, dodging all of Damian's offense until he is met with an elbow. Priest hits another elbow on John and goes for a cover. John hits an elbow of his own and launched Priest outside, to which Miz hits him. Priest is rolled back into the ring and the two men start sharing offense, but Morrison gets the advantage with a neckbreaker. Priest then hits a 2K move and a few kicks. He hits a flying elbow in the corner and a Falcon Arrow. Damian goes to the top, but is met there by John. However, he is flipped off and hits a spinning kick. John goes for a roll-up, but is kicked out of. Damian tries to hit the Reckoning, but is rolled into as Miz accidentally costs John the win. Now, hurrah! Now it's main event time, and between Drew and Bobby, and just as the two men hit each other, wait, you know what? I'm not even going to. Is Braun going to interfere? Oh yeah, he is? Okay, I'm not going to review this match then. My opinions on this Raw are a little bit greater than what you might think, but it's still not good enough. I'm going to give this Raw a 5 out of 10. It's decent. It's not bad anymore. It's just decent. There's enough stuff to entertain me. I like the tag team stuff. RK Bro is the most entertaining thing on the show. Jackson Ryker still has a job. Why? Elias is being underutilized and also overutilized at the exact same time. AJ and Omos are just there at this point. New Day, fun. Shelton and Cedric deserve so much more. So does Humberto. So does Sheamus. So does everyone really on that roster. And Braun is a pain in my ass. He just is. He's not entertaining as a heel. He's not entertaining as a face anymore. He's just there. So with that being said, subscribe to Nilsson, and I be your host, School Nuclear, feeling pain.